Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally. Thanks for joining me today as we make some rustic DIYs. If you saw my outdoor junk video recently, I had taken this bench from the dump with the help of my husband, and using some barn board in our stash created a much nicer bench. And I had some cut off pieces left over, so I decided to use them, or the bulk of them, for today's video. So I am going to start with a little silicone mold that I have of a bird, and I am just filling it with some hot glue. And once that dries, which is literally minutes, then I am going to make a second one. And once I have two of these made, I can just pop them right out of the mold. And then if you do have any overspill, you can just use a pair of scissors or sometimes even just your fingernail and just pick off any excess glue. And you can also use resin for this and clay, obviously, but I decided to just use the hot glue because it was such a small little thing. Now, once I have these dry, I just took some white chalk paint and just painted them white. I don't like to keep them glue colored. I think that just makes it look plastic. So I think once you paint them, that helps a bit. And then I took some antiquing wax and I waxed them and wiped the wax back to make that a little more vintage looking and to bring out the details in the birds. It is rather hard to get this barn board clean because it is hundreds of years old, but I did take my sander, run over it lightly, and especially distress the edges to round them over and make them a little more square. And then I am going to take this metal picture, I guess. I'm not sure what else you'd call it. It looks like a license plate, but it's actually a metal picture, and you can get them from Temu, and I believe you can get them from Amazon. And I had some little tiny upholstery tacks, and they fit right in the holes that were pre-made in this, so I just tacked that right on toward the top. And I wished that my birds were a little bit bigger for this project. I have since gotten a bigger one, but I've already made this, so maybe another time. But what I am doing here is just taking some moss and creating my own bird's nest, and I'm using the brown and the green moss that you can get from the Dollar Tree, just kind of forming that in my hand and using hot glue to make that sort of stick the way that I want it to. And then obviously you can create, if you recreate this any way that you like, but I had some of these orange colored roses in my stash and some leaves, and so I'm just kind of pulling some of the leaves off, clipping them, putting a few underneath the nest, and then I'm going to glue a couple of the flowers to bring out some of that orange tone that is in the birds. And then once I have that, I'm going to move over to the other side and just put a little bit of them on the other side. And then I will I've added a bird to one of the nests, and then I'm going to add a bird right here to one of the flowers on this other side. Put a little hanger on the back of this, and that is a sweet little rustic spring summertime, could even be fall with these colors, little piece of decor. And it cost me, I think, maybe $2 or $3 for the metal. Everything else I had for free in my stash. Now, before I continue down this rustic road, let me let you know that this is a collaboration usually called Rustic Wednesdays, but we're doing it on a Saturday, hosted by Shelley from Repurposed My Way and from Dawn at Shabby Meets Bling. I will have a link to their channels as well as a playlist of everyone joining in my description box, so make sure you check that out. And here is that sweet little sign. I am just propping that up here, having very little wall space, to just show you what that looks like. And let me know what you think about the rustic barn board. If you have any ideas, if you have any in your stash, because I have quite a bit left and I love to use that up. And that takes me on to two other small pieces. I did the same thing, took them out, cut them down to the size I wanted, rounded them over with the sander, and I had purchased two of these sweet little bunny hangers when I went to Warren Street in Hudson with my husband on a recent antique shopping spree. And all I did was screw them on to that. It could not be any more simple, and made two sweet little bunny rustic hook hangers that can go in the entryway, or could go in a child's room, or really in a bathroom, really just anywhere. They're very whimsical. I'm putting them on the only two screw holes I have available here. I took something else down just to show you how cute they are. And so those were like 10 bucks a piece. So that was definitely not a bargain, but I thought they were too cute to pass up. On the next piece of scrap barn board, I took this and sanded it significantly. There is no rough left. I wanted to round it over really good. I wanted to sand it very well, and I wanted to kind of lighten up the color. The other two are a little darker than this, and I am going to add these little spools and just put them on the bottom here with both some Elmer's glue or wood glue, whatever I had in my stash, and some hot glue to hold that on. Now, I waited for that to be good and dry because I wanted to make sure they were going to stay on, and I pulled out this crate stencil that I bought on that same trip to New York. There was a woman in an antique store that had an entire box of these, and I just purchased two of them. You will have seen them in a couple of other videos if you have been following my channel for any length of time. I've used them 2 or 3 times in the last month, or at least little bits and pieces of them. And so I'm just using a black chalk paint and a stiff stencil brush, and I am just going to stencil the piece of this that I want on the edge of this piece of wood. I sanded the bulk of that off, and so that it looks barely there, and took out a watered down antiquing wax and wet that all over as like a stain, so that just not just the board itself would be darkened, but also what would have been a very old stencil on the side of that piece of wood to make that look like I used a piece of crate or something, and the edges. And then once this is completely dry, it is really easy to just coat that with a spray clear coat to keep that, in case you're going to put a drink or something on it as a riser. You might want to put something wet on it, so just coat that over and it is finished. It is so great to have a riser. One of my first, a couple of years ago, I did a video on, I don't know if it's something like 20, 25 ways to use a riser, different things you can do with them, different ways you can make them, different things you can make them out of. If I can find it, I will add it to the description box. And oftentimes I will use corks, wine corks. I got like hundreds of them from my dump as feet, but there's just many ways that you can use them. So I'd love to know what you think about that sweet little riser. Now that takes me on to this metal file box. Now I got this recently. Actually, my husband brought it home from the good table at the dump, and it was meant, I believe, for Christmas. And it's already rustic-y, kind of primitive country, but I wanted to tone that down. I like much more neutral items for my home, and I had something in mind to put inside of it, so I decided to go ahead and give this 2 coats of a white chalked paint. Now, once that chalk paint is fully dry, I am just going to take a wet rag and I am going to distress back here and there to pull out some of that burgundy dark color that's underneath. There is a mark on it which kind of looks a little like a postage stamp, or a little like it had been sent through the mail, which is really kind of cute. And then I just wanted to hit a couple of the edges, and then here and there, not a lot of distressing, because I just want this to look dark, not necessarily burgundy. So once I have that distressed the way that I like it, I take a wax brush, and I happen to have Annie Sloan Clear wax here. So just taking that over the entire piece because it is a chalk paint and I don't want it to reactivate in water. I do want to seal it, but I could have sprayed it with a clear coat as well. I am going to first cover this whole thing with the clear wax, and then I'm going to wipe it back with a rag so that I could then take my dark antiquing wax and go over it again. I don't want it real dark, so this will help to tone that down a bit. If I get a little heavy with the dark wax, I can use the clear wax over it again and again to sort of erase and pull back some. So that is completely up to you as to whether you like to add a distress or if you like to add a dark wax or not. Some people don't like that distress look, but I love all things distressed and vintage for my home. And we are, after all, making these things rustic. So let me know what the word rustic means to you, because I know for some people that's like a log cabin. For some people that is that industrial, maybe more rustic. For some people it's antique. For some people it's more vintage or distressed. So what words do you think of when you hear the word rustic? Now, once I am done with this, I am going to fill this with something not quite so rustic, but antique. These are restaurant redware dishes that I got for free, yes, at my dump. And also I am going to do a little bit of cottage core in this box. I added a tag to the front of it and made that a little distressed with some ink, and then filled it with some items that I've made probably 2 months ago, made in a video. So make sure you check out some of the older videos if interested. Please make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't, and I would love it if you would share this with a friend. Don't forget to check out the playlist and the other creators. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.